What's up guys, Tim Little. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today's video taking you out for a day on the water for some early spring bass fishing. Should be power fishing, should be some trains. Let's go. So last night we had a big front come through, and interestingly enough, today is going to be the highest, warmest temp that we've had in a long time. Going to be 80 degrees today. So the last few days we've been down in the 20s at night, ice cold, freezing. But like we've taught, we got that mud coming in. Should be warmer up here, so we're gonna go check that first, see if there's some fish pulled up in the current. We'll work our way out of our first spot and continue trying to put this puzzle together and hopefully catch a few fish. All right guys, there was a couple kayaks fishing the spot that I wanted to fish. They got a tournament going on, so I don't want to bug them or get in their way at all. But basically that water is coming in. It's where two creeks come in. It's what's really muddied up this normally clear creek channel, but they were right there in the current. That's where I'd like to throw a square bill or a spinner bait. So we're gonna come out here farther down the creek and see if we can find a current seam or an area where those fish can pull up shallow right out of the current and wait for that food to be pushed by. But you can see these buoys are rocked backwards. There's a lot of flow coming through the current today, coming through this creek today with current. So yeah, my thought is those fish are all the way up there with their nose in that current, letting that fresh water come in. Water temp today starting off is 49.4. So cold, muddy water. I think the lake, the last time I was out was a quiet, 3 or 4 degrees warmer than that. So again, cold, muddy water is no good. So hopefully those guys catch them back there. But we're gonna go out here and see if we can find them schooled up somewhere, hopefully, and load the boat. Look how he ate this square bill. You think he wanted that? Straight choke that ATV. Ooh, this one's gonna be fun. Got that broadside in your mouth, huh? Thanks, dude. So in all honesty, I literally in my head said this is my last cast because I'm fishing that cold, muddy water. Water's come up a couple inches, lots of current, lots of colder water coming in. I was hoping to be warmer, but it's not. So I'm fishing these backs of these shallow bays where these fish can kind of pull up as the water rises. They pull up and kind of go in with it. Made a pass all the way through here. Probably gonna cut out a lot of the stuff I fished the last hour, hour and a half, but just covering water, trying to find some active schools. And in my head, I was like, okay, this clearly isn't working. I'm gonna go switch up my game plan completely. I'm gonna go find clearer water, look for some laydowns, throw some glide baits, some swim baits, and then boom, that fish just, it wasn't even that big of a fish, maybe 1.5 pounds, 1.75 pounds, but it straight up choked that square bill. So might be giving this a little bit more time. One thing that running through my mind too is today's going to be warm. It might be an afternoon, early to late afternoon deal as this water warms up. These fish are going to come shallow in that warmer water. So we'll have to play it by ear and see how it's going. But my guess is the bite's going to get better as the day gets longer. talking about right there, guys. Look at that one. Look at the gut. Healthy fish. Thanks, dude. Got a striper. Tactical mini flex. Nice one. That thing. Oh, you're okay. Thanks, dude. Well, that was cool. I know this is kind of a change of plan, but if there's big striper in here, that would be a lot of fun. Again, throwing that tactical mini flex. This is that 7.5 medium heavy Zodius. It just throws that smaller rig so easily. And as you can see, that fish was probably, I don't know, I'm not gonna even guess, but mid-teens in the current, and held up flawlessly. Didn't tweak the rig too much, just bent back a few of the wires, and hoping there's a jumbo in here. ran up lake a little bit. The temps have definitely jumped up. I'm gonna get out of the bibs and hoodie and fish a couple main lake areas, and maybe we'll head back into some backwaters to see if we can get on that squarebill bite again. Another nice one. Got the TN70. See if they're schooled up here on this point. Thanks, bud. So I was really hoping there'd be a school on this point. Basically what we got, main lake, point coming off of a channel going back to a spawning bay. And feels like there's a little bit of grass up there, which is nice. Anytime you can find grass this early in the year is good too. But so far, that was another nice fish. So far putting a nice bag together. That striper is just a bonus, but gonna fish here a little bit longer and then we'll run to our next spot. All right, guys, a little tip for you. You know, I'm throwing this squarebill up super shallow, basically sitting in 2 foot, throwing up shallower, fishing 1.5, I mean, just grinding the bill off of this little ATV. And a tip this time of the year, if you're doing that and you start finding fresh grass, you know, a lot of times the grass is coming up, you'll start fouling your bait, getting hung up. It takes the vibration off your bait, and you'll come back to the boat with bright green grass on your hooks. That is great. Fish love that new grass coming up. But a lot of times when I start seeing that, that's when I switch over to the lipless crankbait. I tend to have better luck fishing that lipless up through the grass, popping it up and letting it fall, versus that squarebill diving down and then backing out, diving down and backing out. Having that lipless ripping out and then falling gives you that kind of reaction bite on the fall. So if you're finding yourself shallow this time of the year, throwing a squarebill, hitting fresh grass, try picking up a lipless crankbait. Good old crappie. On the blade bait. Alright guys, we're gonna check the very back of this big old bay. See if it's gonna take a long time to get in. I'm actually running out of time. I got a phone call, I gotta get off the water here shortly, but I wanted to check in the very back, because sometimes these fish, like I said, will kind of push up with the water as it's raising. Even if it's just a few inches, it's rising just a few inches, they'll get up there and get right in it. So see how far back there I can get. Hopefully I'm not wasting a ton of time trying to get all the way back there, because I gotta do it with the troll motor, but we'll see if hopefully there's some fish back there. Sometimes this time of the year can be really tough trying to figure out these vast backwaters. Right? Everything you're looking at right there is less than 2.5 feet. So those fish can be anywhere, and you basically have to just try and fish it as much as you can, but it kills a lot of time. You know, I was hoping I could get back in the back where there's actual current coming in. That's where I feel like those fish are gonna be, but I couldn't get back there, it's too shallow. So guys in aluminum boats, guys in waders or kayaks, that would be a perfect spot to check, but in the bass boat, can't get back there. But again, this whole backwater Everything you're seeing behind me is less than 3 feet, but there's fish back here. It just takes a long time to try and figure them out. It's really hard with the water down to side image and find stumps, find those isolated pieces of cover those fish would be sitting on. Normally when the water's up 6 or 7 more feet, you could side image and waypoint all your stuff and make those target casts to those pieces of cover. But when the water's down this low, it's really hard to find those fish without spending all day just kind of working your way, methodically, meticulously through and finding those key pieces of cover. So I wasted a bunch of time back here, unfortunately. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Got to get off the water short. Unfortunately, got my day cut short, but it happens. Great day. It was a struggle in the beginning, trying to cover water and find some fish. Having that cold, muddy water coming in did not help things. So caught nice one, caught a couple on that SQUAREBILL, caught a nice one on that SQUAREBILL, and then the nice one on that TN70, and then obviously that striper was a bonus, and a crappie. I caught all sorts, caught some white bass, but great day. Really, really nice to be able to fish in shorts and a sun shirt, so I'm looking forward to that here in the spring, get away from this cold weather. But looking forward to this water rising a little bit to give these fish some more room to spread out, get on those isolated pieces of cover, and then really pick them apart once kind of know where they're going to be. But unfortunately, like I said, got to get off the water short. I was hoping to be out all day today and really put the pieces together. I felt like it was, as long as you're covering water, fishing main lake points, openings to backwaters, that was kind of the deal. And then tried a bunch of different backwaters, trying to find clean, warm water. Unfortunately, all of them were kind of blown out with that storm that came through last night. But hey, that's what happens, it's fishing. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys on the next video.